What is going on with the Arch Front? What's the latest? Our good friend Ryan McClure is here from City Arch River. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning.
Also, Ann, is it Honus?
It's Honius.
Honius, Ann Honius with the National Park Service. Good morning, Ann.
Good morning to you.
What is going on currently around the Arch grounds?
Well, I think what's happening that is sort of the first step is the museum that's been open for almost 40 years will be closed at the end of the day on Monday and be ready for construction. So this is a museum that we've had since a museum opened at the park. It tells the story of St. Louis and westward expansion. And I think it's a beloved place for all St. Louisans. I think most people remember coming here for field trips and school programs and bringing family. And it's something that's going to be completely a new experience under the City Arch River program.
What are you going to do with the Dusty Buffaloes?
Unfortunately, the dusty buffaloes are going to be disposed of. They're old taxidermy, and they have arsenic and formaldehyde in them, and they're also dusty and in bad shape. So they will be disposed of appropriately.
All right, fair enough. What the movie A Monument to a Dream is there also played in there? Is there going to be a place for that anywhere as this reconstruction continues?
Yes, it's a little confusing to people when we say the museum's closing. It only means the museum exhibits are closing, not the whole area under the arch. So guests will be able to go to the top of the arch and to also watch the movie Monument to the Dream. And that will be continuous during construction. It's only the museum exhibits that are closing. And later this spring, we will actually have temporary exhibits based on those exhibits that are closing that will be up at the old courthouse.
Okay, good. So you have until Monday. This weekend is the last time to go see that museum for the last time.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Now, Ryan McClure with City Arch River, what's going on? What happens after Monday?
So once the museum closes, I know the folks at the National Park Service will start moving the exhibits out, as Ann mentioned. But construction on the new museum and visitor center expansion will start in March, and that's a 2-year process. So that would be finished by spring of 2017. Once it's finished, you'll have this brand new entrance to the Arch Visitor Center Museum that's now on the western side of the park, right next to that park over the highway that we're building right now. So people will be able to walk from 4th Street into the new entrance of the arch without a stair step or intersection in their way.
I mean, look, it is going to be underneath the arch. The new opening to the museum is going to be underneath the arch, right? I mean, it's going to be sort of, instead of walking down under the arch, you're going to walk like through the arch.
Well, yeah, basically you'll watch where Northbound Memorial used to sit is where the new entrance will be. So you'll walk in the new entrance, you'll go down 2 levels, and then you'll be entering through the museum. So whereas the museum was kind of off to the side before, folks will walk through the museum to get to the tram loading zones.
Right.
And then you can go on your journey to the top. And when you're going through the museum, it'll be a completely new experience, as Ann mentioned. There will be interactive, engaging, immersive exhibits that tell the story of westward expansion and St. Louis's role in westward expansion, which is not necessarily told in an obvious way right now.
Yeah.
So they'll update will they still have that movie, the film of the building of the arch, or will they update that and add new? Or
I believe that Monument to a Dream will still be there, but there will be there's 6 story zones, and one of those story zones is building the arch. So there's an entire story zone focused on Eero Saarinen's design and the engineering and actually building the arch.
Yeah.
And so there will be a good focus on that.
And
just to answer your question on Monument to the Dream, that will continue and be showing during construction and after construction. We've actually digitized the film, and we're working on procuring the equipment to show that film. So it will be very crisp and a new technology to show the film that will be premiering sometime in 2015.
And what's the one thing people should know from the National Park Service about all the construction, all the things going on at the Arch?
Starting March 2nd, you will need a ticket a timed ticket to get into the arch. This is due to construction and reduced capacity. And so we need to control the number of visitors that are going into the arch to ensure that people will be able to go to the top and attend the movie.
And you can do that online too, right?
You can do that online. That would make your visit the easiest if you can plan in advance and purchase online and choose a time. But if you are unable to plan in advance or you don't have access to online or the call center, the old courthouse is going to start functioning as the visitor center for the arch. So you can purchase your tickets here, and later on in the spring we'll have the temporary exhibits here that talk about westward expansion. So it'll really be your orientation to
beautiful.
your visit to the arch. And then at the arch, you'll be able to watch the movie, go to the top of the tram, and go to the museum stores.
Do we know where the Lewis and Clark statue is going to be yet, Ann?
I can answer that.
Ryan, where is it going to be?
So the plan right now, so the Captain's Return Lewis and Clark statue is currently being rehabbed right now. We talked about that last time I was here, I think. And the plan is that it would go back on the riverfront. It would be a little farther north than it was before and on higher ground, so it would be underwater.
There you go.
Much less.
Ryan, the lid's almost done, and that Sullivan Boulevard's almost done, right?
Well, the Park Over the Highway structure is complete. Now we just need to landscape that, which is going to start in the next few months.
Right.
Lenora K. Sullivan Boulevard, the southern half is open to traffic, and they're working on the northern half now, and that's all scheduled to be complete by the October of this year.
When do you take down that awful parking structure just south of the Eads Bridge?
That demolition on the parking structure is actually going to start in the next few weeks.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and we've got a webcam on our website where you can watch demolition of the garage as it happens.
cityarchriver.org.
That's correct.
Ann Hollinas, is that right?
Honius.
Honius. Ann Honius. I'll get it right one of these years. With the National Park Service. Ann, thanks for checking in. Ryan, always a pleasure. You're always welcome here.
Thank you,
Thank
McGraw.
you. You
Thanks,
got it.
Kelly.
In
Thank you.
terms of full disclosure, I should say that I now sit on the board of the Great Rivers Greenway, which is part of this whole thing.
And I know they are happy to have you.
Yes. Well, that's the first time I heard that, actually. St.